Welcome to the 2017 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. I'm Pirates President Frank Coonley. Baseball teaches our young people so many great things like teamwork, sportsmanship, and determination, all values that will serve them well in their lives away from the diamond. The Pirates and all of Major League Baseball are more focused than ever on encouraging our young people to learn to love the game of baseball and softball and to carry that love well into their adult lives. The Pirates are excited to help spark that love here in the Pittsburgh region through our partnership with the Pony League World Series. On behalf of the entire Pirates organization, good luck in the competition to all of the teams, and we hope that everyone enjoys the fun, excitement, and sportsmanship of the 66 Pony League World Series. Now, let's play ball!
It is an absolutely glorious evening here in Washington, Pennsylvania, as we welcome you inside Lou Hayes Pony Field, day number 2 of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. All the activity started back on Thursday at Dick's Sporting Goods in Washington, Pennsylvania. It was the Met Express Fan Fest, where the teams had the opportunity to get together for the very first time and check out the latest goods when it comes to technology. It was a fantastic event, and now it's time to find out who's going to be here for this 66th edition of this Pony League World Series. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Caridi. So we've got an international affair coming up here in our third game of the day. This will be the first appearance for the representative from Seoul, Korea, and they will be in action coming up here against Guasave, Mexico. Now, the Mexican team played the first game yesterday and was victorious over Levittown, Puerto Rico. 4-1 was the final score. That was followed up by Hagerstown, Maryland, rolling over Youngstown, Ohio. And so you can see how this bracket is going to play out. The winner of tonight's game will have a day off, and then they won't play all the way till Tuesday. The gentlemen who are going to be calling the action tonight, let's go upstairs and meet them. Ernie Galuski and Lanny Fratteri.
Tony, thank you very much. You're right. It is a glorious day, a sun-splashed Saturday for this fifth game of the tournament. Ernie alongside, and keep in mind that following up on what Tony said, Seoul, Korea playing its first game of the tournament, whereas Guasave, Mexico was victorious yesterday, day one. Ernie, you have coached a lot of young players. How tough is it for them to deal mentally with this environment?
It can be very difficult. You're in a new place. You've traveled a long way to get here. You have a lot of ceremonies and a lot of things going on around you. It can be tough to focus on baseball. But if you can get out there, play that first inning, everything gets back to normal. But watch out, the first inning can be the tough one.
Guasave, Mexico with a win yesterday. 3 home runs, including one by Vidal Sotelo on Vidal's 15th birthday. It was a solo shot and a 1-0 lead. Jesus Parra had a solo home run in the ball game, and Pedro Felix had a 2-run homer. The final score, 4-1. Guasave, Mexico over Levittown, Puerto Rico. Ready for the starting lineups and the start of the ball game in just a moment.
We're America's #1 sporting goods store, and we're always open. Every season starts at Dicks.com.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again.
How about next weekend?
Yes.
Horse around at the Washington County Agricultural Fair, August 12th through the 19th at the Washington County Fairgrounds.
Peoples is dedicated to developing innovative energy solutions with local companies and communities. The result? A positive environmental impact while supporting new technologies in the region. Whether it's collaborating with Chatham, Duquesne, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, or Giant Eagle's commercial fleet, Natural gas-powered campuses and companies are protecting the environment by doing more with less. Protecting the environment through innovation for future generations. One more way Peoples is making your life better.
Our third and final game of the day is ready to go. Seoul, Korea, and Guasave, Mexico, ready to play it off here. A truly international affair. What do you say we meet the lineups now and turn it over to public address announcer Bob Gregg.
Set for Game 5 of this year's Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series, featuring Seoul, Korea, the Asia-Pacific Zone representative, and Guasave, Sinaloa, Mexico, the Mexico champions and winners of our opening ball game. And now let's meet the players. First of all, the visitors from Seoul, Korea. Leading off, playing center field, number 31, Jung Hwai-chon. Batting second and playing left field, number 1, Kim Min-hyuk. Batting third, the first baseman, number 19, Choi Woo-in. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 5, Cho Kyu-taek. Batting fifth and catching, number 47, Kim Jong-yul. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 7, Lee Wong-chan. Batting seventh, playing right field, number 15, Bai Han-jun. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 26, Kim Sung-min. Batting ninth and pitching, number 21, Lee Yong-jun. Number 3, Park Jun-young. Number 6, Han Tae-yang. Number 8, Oh Sung-jun. Number 11, Lee Yoon-min. Number 17, Kim Chon-kai. Number 29, Chung Sung-ik. Coaches Cho Jung-kwon, Kim Do-kwon, and the head coach Park Chul-hong. Asia Pacific Zone representative Seoul, Korea. And now representing Mexico, Guasave, Sinaloa. Leading off, the shortstop, number 12, Kevin Armenta. Batting second and playing second base, number 5, Nomar Valdez. Batting third and playing first base, number 11, Vidal Sotelo. Batting fourth and catching, number 4, Pedro Cervantes. Batting fifth, the pitcher, number 3, Joel Sanchez. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 18, Pedro Felix. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 21, Jesus Parra. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 27, Oliver Perez. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 13, Esau de Anda. Number 2, Pavel Navarro. Number 7, Misael Esparza. Number 8, Saeed Kota. Number 10, Yair Camacho. Coach Ramon Valdez. Coach Vidal Sotelo. The manager, Genaro Armenta. Guasave, Sinaloa, Mexico. Umpiring at home plate, Jeff Vrabel Sr. At first base, Dave Smolko. At second base, Ray Parker. At third base, Jeff DeChellis. Decisions Committee, Terry Faust, Tom O'Connor, Dick Witt. At this time, we ask that you all rise for the Pony Prayer and our national anthems. Gentlemen and boys, please remove your hats. Thank you to all veterans and active duty members of the United States Armed Forces for your service. We invite you to render a hand salute during the Star-Spangled Banner. Almighty God, help us to realize that we are gathered here to watch young people play baseball, not to second-guess strategy, dispute decisions, or questionability. That we are here to cheer, to encourage, and to join in the fun that is baseball, not to jeer, discourage, or otherwise degrade the game. That while officials and players are expected to perform within the bounds of certain standards, we also, as spectators, are expected to conduct ourselves within the bounds of good sportsmanship. May this contest end without injury, without feelings of ill will, without disgrace, but as an activity worthy of thy blessing. Amen.
The scene is set here in Washington, Pennsylvania. We invite you to stay tuned on a beautiful night. We'll play it off when we return. Stay with us.
The key to winning is getting the most out of every player.
We need to perform at the highest level.
Anything less won't cut it.
We demand the best.
You also need the best medical care and sports training programs
to help prevent injuries.
and to provide world-class treatment if someone gets hurt. We won't settle for second best.
That's why the Pitt Panthers choose UPMC Sports Medicine.
Athletes at every level choose UPMC Sports Medicine.
We've been in your community since 1808. We've stood by your side covering the news of the day. We've been here for the important times in your life. We've celebrated with you. We're proud to have delivered the latest in local, regional, and national news in Washington, Greene, and southern Allegheny counties. We'll be here for the next phase of your life with our print and online editions. The Observer Reporter, life delivered daily.
It's go time at Dunkin' with 2 egg and cheese wake-up wraps for $2. Enjoy 2 freshly made oven-toasted wraps and keep on running all day long. America runs on Dunkin'. Dunkin's full-bodied cold brew coffee takes 12 hours to steep and almost no time to sip. Experience the craft in Dunkin's ultra-smooth cold brew coffee. America runs on Dunkin'.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again.
How about next weekend?
Yes.
Horse Around at the West Alexander Fair, September 4th through 9th at the Fairgrounds in West Alexander.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. That keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
Fifth game of the tournament, second day. We will be marching towards the championship game of the 2017 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series Wednesday night, and we'll have the coverage for you right here on our television network and the Point 22. Left-handed pitcher for Guasave, Mexico, facing this lineup: Young, Kim, Choi, Chow, Kim, Lee, Bai, Kim, and Lee. The pitcher, Lee Young-un, in the number 9 spot of the batting order. Left-hander Joel Sanchez on the hill for Guasave, Mexico. First game of the tournament for Seoul, Korea. Korea has won 3 Pony League World Series championships: 1988, 1989, 1990. Jung Kwai-chan leads off. Right-handed batter, center fielder, and fouls the first pitch of the game off to the right. Ernie Galuski alongside. Ernie has coached college baseball, American Legion, youth baseball teams. Lopez, Parra, and Dianda in the outfield, left to right. Felix Armenta, Valdez, Sotelo on the infield, third to first. Cervantes catching Joel Sanchez pitch outside. I was commenting about Ernie. We have worked together a number of times, and this is a guy, this guy that's sitting in the chair to my right knows an awful lot about mentoring young people. So he's the right guy to be sitting in this chair to analyze what's going to transpire over the next couple of hours. All bounced back 2-1. So you think this first inning is significant?
The first inning can be very difficult, regardless if a kid is 10 years old or 12 or 14 like we're seeing now at the Pony League level. It's just difficult to go out there and play in this environment. You're a long way from home. There's a lot of things going on around you with events and ceremonies, and you are playing against the best Pony League teams in the world, not just the country. So a lot of pressure on these young guys, and sometimes the first inning can be the most difficult until they let the game settle in.
Both of these teams have traveled quite a distance. I was checking with the translator of the Korean team. I said, how was it that you got to Pittsburgh? He told me that they went from Seoul to Atlanta to Pittsburgh. I guess I'm still baffled that, wouldn't you have made a stop in California on the way?
Well, you would think that's a long flight to Seoul from Seoul to Atlanta.
Called strike 3 and 2, even though Young was jumping out of the way of the pitch, the inside corner pitch.
Yeah, but the other side of that is, Lanny, what an experience for these kids. To be able to travel to another country and play baseball at this level, something that they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
3-2 pitch fouled back out of play at Lou Hayes, Pony Field. Our tournament brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Also a tremendous supporter of this tournament, observer reporter, and has been for a long time since Lou Hayes, old sports editor of the observer reporter, had this dream of Washington County being the center of the Pony League world. Ball gets away on strike 3. And Cervantes with a throw, and you saw Sotelo do a good job of stepping into foul territory for a good target.
Yeah, really good pitch there by Sanchez, breaking ball in the dirt.
It is 250 down the lines, 285 to the power alleys, and 305 field. Typical Major League Baseball high school field, 60 feet 6 inches from the rubber to home plate, 54 feet here. Bases 90 feet normally. This is 80 feet.
Yeah, and I think it's the right move for kids this age. They're transitioning from that 60-foot base. It's tough to jump to 90-foot bases and a 60-foot mound in 1 year from age 12 to 13. So I love the Pony League rules, the 54-foot mound and the 80-foot bases.
Kim Min Young, left fielder, facing the left-hander Sanchez. Fastball outside. This is the third game of the day. Bay County, Michigan beat Brownsville, Texas 6-4. And Washington, Pennsylvania defeated the Netherlands 9-2.
Looks like we have a little.
Umpire Jeff Rabel wants a player to protect the bullpen guys.
Always a good idea. I don't want that pitcher that you may have to put in the game get hit with a foul ball.
And that is Lee warming up. He will be going to the mound at the bottom of the first inning. 2 balls and a strike. That's sweeping breaking ball. Two-one pitch. 3-1. So Sanchez was 3-1 on the first batter, then went to 3-2, and then the strikeout. Now 3-1 on the second batter, Kim Man Young.
Yeah, 11 pitches early in this game. He is struggling with his command a little bit, but when he is finding his spot, pitch is very effective.
And a soft liner to center field. We've got our first hit of the game. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter.
Just a good
Choi Woo-in.
Yeah, good swing there by Yuk, and a hitter's count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Got a pitch out over the plate. Drove it right back up the middle.
And Choi will be celebrating his 15th birthday on Wednesday. He's hoping that it will be his birthday will be a part of a Seoul, Korea championship appearance. 9 straight years that teams from the Asia Pacific zone have competed in the championship game. Just underway, no score. Soft shortstop's got a double play on a soft liner, ball in the dirt on the throw to Sotelo. And a 6-3 frame finishing double play. No runs, 1 hit. No one left on base for Seoul, Korea at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again.
How about next weekend?
Yes.
Cheers to the Pennsylvania Bavarian Oktoberfest on the streets of downtown Canonsburg, September 15th through 17th.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
The Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series is presented in part by Dunkin' Donuts, by California University of Pennsylvania, by ANSYS, by West Banco, and by UPMC.
Here's the starting lineup for Guasave, Mexico, with Kevin Armenta leading off, then Valdez Sotelo, one of the players that had a home run in the first game yesterday. Cervantes in the fourth spot. Sanchez Felix homered yesterday. So did Parra. And then Lopez and De Anda. That lineup facing Lee Young-un, right-hander for Korea. And Armenta takes a strike. West Banco sponsoring our coverage, and the baseballs that go into the stands are gifts for the patrons coming out to the ballpark today, and they're the gifts of the Pony League World Series, thanks to West Banco. Hat tipped back, and Lee's pitch. Ball trundled to second base. Kim to Choi. No score, bottom of the first inning. Kim Min-hook in left field. Jung in center. Bai in right. Cho at third. Lee Wong-chan at shortstop. Kim Jong-min at second base. Choi at first. Kim Young-ul is the catcher for Lee Young-un. Fastball high to Nomar Valdez. Nomar's dad, Ramon, is the first base coach of Guasave, Mexico. Ramon Valdez, a lot of baseball experience. Ball fouled away, 1-1. Nomar Valdez, didn't Nomar Garcia Parra wear number 5?
I believe he did, yes. And behind every great youth baseball team, you usually have a great youth baseball dad. Dads coach a lot of these teams, even at the higher levels, when you get to even the Pony League World Series.
Gorgeous day. And rolled through the right side by Valdez. One out single.
And a good piece of hitting there by Valdez. First base runner of the game for Mexico. Lee Young-jun has been in the strike zone so far. He's thrown 6 pitches, 5 of which for strikes. And when you know a guy's going to be in the strike zone, get your hands back, get aggressive, and try to put a ball and play hard. And that's exactly what Valdez did.
Vidal Sotelo. I gotta tell you, I spent time Thursday night at the Dick's Sporting Goods store in Washington talking to players, and then I spent time yesterday at the picnic that was held for the players. There's a blooper into left field. Base hit by Sotelo that advances Valdez to second. While I was sitting at the picnic table yesterday, I was sitting across from Vidal Sotelo, and his dad, who's one of the coaches, and his sister, as we watched this ball be driven by the left-handed batter the opposite way. But they were telling me that yesterday was Vidal's birthday, and sure enough, he homered in that game yesterday to celebrate his 15th birthday. Also got a new glove and also picked up the victory in the game to celebrate birthday number 15. Now the number 4 hitter, Pedro Cervantes.
It'd be tough to top that birthday from here on out, wouldn't it? There are going to be some disappointing years in the future for that young man.
Cervantes 2 hits yesterday in the 4-1 win over Levittown, Puerto Rico.
Jun is up in the zone here early. Mexico very aggressive at the plate. Base hits on back-to-back pitches. Lee Young-jun's going to have to figure out a way to get the ball down in the strike zone.
Foul ball. Almost clipped first base umpire Dave Smolko. Seen these hitters going the opposite way in the bottom of the first inning. David is umpiring his 5th Pony League World Series. Works for Jamestown Industries. And Celeste, the photographer from the Observer Reporter, had to retrieve that ball. No score, bottom of the first inning. In the top of the inning, there was a line drive or a soft liner double play that ended the top of the first. This is day 2. We start with 10 teams in the Pony League World Series. 2 brackets, 5 teams in each bracket. Double elimination. First game for Seoul, Korea. Covina, California doesn't play its first game until tomorrow. And the count 2 balls, 1 strike. So outside the contiguous United States, you've got Mexico, Netherlands, Puerto Rico, and Korea. And then the 6 teams from the contiguous United States, including Brownsville, Texas, Hagerstown, Maryland, called strike. Washington, Pennsylvania, Youngstown, Ohio.
It's truly
that pitch.
Yeah, national and international event. Very good pitch there from the right-hander. Really the first fastball that he's thrown with that downhill angle. Caught the outside corner.
Completing the list, Bay County, Michigan. Check swing. It is ruled a swing by the first base umpire, and Cervantes strikes out. Second out of the inning. No score, bottom of the first, 2 on and 2 outs.
What another good pitch there, breaking ball. 2-strike breaking ball away. Gets the hitter Cervantes to offer.
Bay County, Michigan, and make sure that you include Covina, California on the list. Now, Joel Sanchez, left-handed batter against the right-hander Lee. Opposite drive to left field, carrying well and gone. 3-run homer by Joel Sanchez in the bottom of the first inning. 3-0 Guasave, Mexico.
And how about that? Sanchez got an elevated pitch, first pitch of the at-bat. And I love to watch these young hitters let balls travel into the strike zone and use the whole field. That is an opposite field home run here in the first inning to give Mexico an early lead.
And following up on what Ernie was just saying, the 4 guys that have hit balls in this bottom of the first inning have all gone the opposite way.
You can tell right off the bat how well this Mexico team is coached. Whoever works with their hitters, because that's what you try to teach every hitter, to let the ball travel, use the whole field, especially the big part of the field, which is right up the middle.
Strike called. Is it your belief that you would always hit fastball and breaking balls the opposite way, or would you have a different philosophy depending on what the pitch is?
I think it's location. I think it's middle, in or out is where you should hit the ball. It's really hard to teach a young hitter to trust themselves enough to actually let a fastball travel. They want to jump out at it. Nobody wants to get jammed, but once you mature and you learn how to hit, you realize that if you can let the ball travel a little bit farther, you're going to hit it a lot harder and you're going to hit it a lot farther, and you're going to be able to utilize the whole field.
Guasave, Mexico celebrating early. And count 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 3-run homer by Joel Sanchez. By the way, that home run ball will be retrieved and presented to Sanchez in about an inning or so. And the strikeout of Guasave, Mexico's Pedro Felix ends the inning. Bob Gregg's going to join us in a moment. At the end of 1 inning, thanks to the 3-run homer by Joel Sanchez, Guasave, Mexico leads Seoul, Korea 3-0. Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series brought to you by the Observer Reporter, and we're ready for the second inning and pleased to have Bob Gregg with us. Bob, 5 years ago you said to me, Lanny, would you like to do the Pony League World Series? And I said I would be honored to. Thanks very much for giving me this chance. I have loved this opportunity.
Well, and certainly we've loved having you, Lanny. 5 years ago, we were in some real struggles in terms of keeping the World Series here. Had a couple of hiccups in that 2012 season, and then you came on, and everything's worked out very well. Actually, Washington County Tourism and Dick's Sporting Goods and those people came on, and that really made it great. But I could just imagine those of us here in Washington County hearing Lanny Fratteri broadcast baseball on a world championship level and how wonderful that would be.
Well, thank you. I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted it to be about you and the work that your committee does and all the people do for the Pony League World Series to make this such a huge success.
Well, thank you. We have over 500 different volunteers this year alone who have worked in this community to make this event happen. We're all volunteers. There's not a paid position in our group, and it's just, there's a lot of work, a lot of things happen, but a lot of people love this event. It's part of who we are.
Congratulations. You got to go back and do more PA.
Thank you very much.
Bob, thank you. Bob Gregg, director, and does the PA announcing, and we're ready for the second inning and a 3-0 lead for Guasave, Mexico. Joe Q take 1 ball, 1 strike on this right-handed batter. Seoul, Korea, the representative from the Asia Pacific zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ernie, when you're coaching young people, ages 12, 13, 14, are you surprised that they deal with the pressure as well as they do?
At times, and at times you're like, why can't you deal with this a little bit better? But you know, these are changing people. They're at that time in their life where, you know, you look at it on the field right now. You got some guys on the field that are 6 foot tall. You got some guys that are on the field that are 5 foot 5'1". So it can be a difficult thing for young kids to, you know, not only deal with what's going on with their bodies changing and maturing and hitting those teenage years, but also trying to deal with the struggles of being a baseball player, which we all know, especially you've done this a long time. This is a game of failure, and learning how to deal with failure, you know, usually can be the telltale sign of how much success you're going to have in the future. So, you know, but usually the kids you're seeing at events like this, the Pony League World Series, these are the kids that handle it the best. You know, they have physical ability and they have talent, but they also know how to handle the ups and downs of the game as well. So the maturity level of these kids probably higher than most of the kids playing baseball at their age.
Most people know this is Kim Jong-un batting with a man on, 3-0 in favor of Mexico. Most people know about the importance of being able to hit, catch, run in baseball. But is it as difficult to teach that as it is to teach the mental approach to the game?
No, you can teach the physical things and you can rep them and you can take care of things like that at practice. But, you know, it's really hard to practice the mental strain that happens in a baseball game as the ball gets away here. Especially just like anything else, things change and society has changed. And, you know, these kids have a lot of things at their disposal now with electronics and instant gratification and what they need instantly. And sometimes baseball can be a little bit out of the normal for kids in this generation. It can be a little bit of a slower game and something that you have to think your way through. And, you know, that's part of the battle as a coach, is trying to get the kids to not only know how to play, but to be able to think their way through a baseball game.
Pitch low and outside, 2-0. That E1 giving Korea a runner at second base, plus taking away the possibility of a ground ball double play. When you coach youth baseball, do you dictate throws to first, pitch outs from the dugout, or do you leave it with your young pitchers?
You know, at the level, I coached 12-year-old baseball this year, and it has been coming up the ranks with the team that I coach. And, yes, I call the pickoffs. I call the pitches at this point, but really looking forward to letting those guys start to do that on their own, where they have the freedom to go out there and try to pick off a runner, or I want my catchers to start calling games. And, you know, looking forward to that next step of maturity for the players that I coach.
Quick conference there between Jeff Rabel, the home plate umpire, and the head coach of the Seoul, Korea team. 3-0 on Kim. Strike 3 and 1 now that Joel Sanchez has a 3-0 early lead. He certainly wants to throw strikes. Unfortunately, walked the first batter of the inning.
Yeah, something you never want to do. You never want to take a lead and then go out the next inning and walk the leadoff hitter, and in danger of walking the second hitter of the inning as well right here. Be interesting to watch Sanchez here moving forward. Not sure that he's coming set and then maybe double starting to go into his motion. To see if the umpires pick up on that.
With Cho at second base. The runner moves to third as Valdez throws out Kim. One away, runner at third. Guasave, Mexico leads Seoul, Korea 3-0 and bring up the number 6 batter.
You know, when I think of baseball in Asia, whether it be Chinese Taipei or Korea, you always think of very well-disciplined players. Players that know how to play the game fundamentally, and they're very disciplined, and that's just an example right there. A runner on second with nobody out here in the second inning. And Kim Young-yul grounds out to second base to move that runner up.
Lee Wong-chun, shortstop. Runner breaking to the plate, and Guasave, Mexico decides to take the out and give up the run. It's now a 3-1 ball game.
Again, when you move that runner up with the ground out to second base, it is the first out of the inning, but you move that runner to third base. And every baseball coach will tell you their goal offensively is to try to get base runners to third base with less than 2 outs, because there's so many ways to score a run. And right there on the contact play, take scores from third base on a routine ground ball to shortstop, and Korea is on the board.
By Hun-yun. Left-handed batter swings at the first pitch. Close play, but it is out number 3. Seoul, Korea picks up a run without the luxury of a hit. There was an error, no one left on base. Rather at the end of 2 innings of play, or no, middle of the second inning. I was right the first time. It is 3-1 in favor of Guasave, Mexico.
Since 1901, Community Bank has helped make home sweet home a little sweeter. Stop in or visit us online to see how we can get those dream projects started with a home improvement loan that's right for you. Because building better communities is our business. That's Community Bank.
At the Southwestern Pennsylvania Eye Center, our priority is patient care.
We have the latest laser technology for cataract surgery, LensX.
We enhance the quality of life by restoring vision, because our passion is eye care.
We've been in your community since 1808. We've stood by your side covering the news of the day. We've been here for the important times in your life. We've celebrated with you. We're proud to have delivered the latest in local, regional, and national news in Washington, Greene, and southern Allegheny counties. We'll be here for the next phase of your life with our print and online editions. The Observer Reporter, life delivered daily.
Life can be challenging, but buying a car doesn't need to be. That's why my first stop is always Washington Honda. With their tremendous selection of new and pre-owned vehicles and their friendly, no-hassle approach, buying a car has never been easier. Don't let your next car buying experience be a difficult one. Come to Washington Honda. This month, lease a 2017 Honda Accord LX for just $169 a month. Washington Honda. It's all at the mall.
At the Southwestern Pennsylvania Eye Center, our priority is patient care.
We have the latest laser technology, including dropless cataract surgery.
We enhance the quality of life by restoring vision, because our passion is eye care.
Looking for a new home or to refinance an existing one? The mortgage team at Community Bank will show you how to make your dream home a dream come true. Plus, our rates are pretty dreamy too. All because building better communities is our business. That's Community Bank.
From our Pony League Baseball archives, the gentleman with the glasses there, that's Joe E. Brown, former commissioner of Pony League Baseball. Later on in the years, his son Joe L. Brown would become the general manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates from 1956 through 1976. And this film here is the Youngstown team arriving for the Pony League World Series. Much has changed, but the prize remains winning a championship, guys.
All right, thanks, Tony. Ball popped up, first pitch of the game, hit by Jesus Parra, one away in the bottom of the second. Joe Brown, one of the great general managers in baseball, and pleasure that I had to work with Joe for a number of years. And brings up Oliver Lopez. What a combination. Joe Brown and Danny Murtaugh. Seemed like every time Joe Brown decided to make a managerial change when Danny wasn't the manager, Joe would go back to Danny. 3-1, Guasave, Mexico leads. Pitches outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
And those last 2 pitches out of the strike zone broke the streak, Lanny. We had 4 consecutive outs on 4 consecutive pitches. 3 ground outs in a row in the top of the second inning, and then a first pitch pop-up to start the bottom half.
2-0 pitch, dribble to the right side. And 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Guasave, Mexico getting the 3-run homer from Joel Sanchez in the first inning. Well, triple-header tomorrow at noon. Covino, California will play its first game against Washington. Washington, PA, with an impressive win today over the Netherlands.
In front of a very big hometown crowd. It was a lot of fun to watch that game and the local support for Washington.
Outside ball 1 to Asoa Deanda. Letting that breaking ball go. It's the noon game tomorrow. Covino against Washington. Check swing.
Did he go?
Not a swing, according to the first base umpire. Second game tomorrow, an elimination game at 2:30. Levittown, Puerto Rico against Youngstown. Here's that check swing. And the count 1-1 on Deanda. 5 o'clock game tomorrow is an elimination game. Netherlands against Brownsville. Count 2 balls, 1 strike.
Boy, and what an event this is. You know, you talked about it there in the top of the second inning, but the people that invest so much time, and especially right now, they invest their whole day for a triple header, and to be here to put this event on is just an incredible thing.
Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gennaro Amenta, third base coach for Guasave, Mexico. Folks from south of the border, from the south of the Rio Grande River, have made the trek up to Washington, Pennsylvania. We're so pleased to have them with us. Swing and a miss. The strikeout ends the inning. And it is the 3rd strikeout of the game for Lee. 1-2-3. Guasave, Mexico goes down in order. At the end of 2, Guasave, Mexico 3, Seoul, Korea 1. This is the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series.
We're America's #1 sporting goods store, and we're always open. Every season starts at Dicks.com.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free. When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Set for the top of the third. Guasave, Mexico on the west coast of Mexico, across, as you can see, from the Baja California Peninsula. Mexico with a long trek of 2,468 miles. And enjoying a 3-1 lead in this game after winning the first game 4-1 over Levittown, Puerto Rico. We also have Brownsville, Texas in this tournament. Brownsville, Texas sits right there on the northern shore of the Rio Grande River.
Yeah, very long trips, but you know these teams will be well supported by friends and family here in Washington this week.
Well, and all the times that you've taken players, you just came back from Cooperstown. What is your philosophy? Is it all about baseball when you take a team away on a trip?
No, absolutely not. I think as a coach, I try really hard to prepare them to play baseball, but then also make sure that they try to enjoy every part of the experience when you go out of town and you play in these elite events like the Pony League World Series. You just got to make sure they can flip the switch and play baseball when it's time to play baseball.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Now, I think it's a lot easier when you're dealing with youth players to do that than maybe an older player, whether it's a college baseball player or a professional player, because you can kind of control what they do. You can pretty much say, I need you to go to bed here. You have a curfew. You know, we're going to eat at this time, and we're going to do things as a team as far as activities outside of actually playing the game.
Ground ball past the third baseman Felix, who tried to make a backhanded play. And so Kim Sun-min is on. Ruled a base hit. Second hit of the game for Seoul, Korea. And Lee Jong-un with a bow to the home plate umpire before stepping in.
Tough chance there for the third baseman Felix. It will be ruled an error, but very tough play there. That ball checked up on the grass. Oh, it was called a hit, base hit.
Yeah, ruled a base hit.
Yeah, it definitely had some spin on it when it came off that grass, and tough play for the third baseman.
Bouncer to the right side of the second baseman Valdez. And ruled an out. The umpire at second base ruling that there was the transition phase. Ray Parker, the second base umpire, rules the out, first out of the inning.
Be curious to see that replay there. Mexico may have gotten a break. I'm not sure that the shortstop Armenta had possession. Ooh. I'm not sure that he ever had possession of that, Lanny.
1 on and 1 out. Top of the batting order, Jung Kwai Chen takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Joel Sanchez has given up 1 run on 2 hits. The run of the second inning is unearned, even though the run was set up by the pitcher's throwing error. People have often said to me, well, why would you give it an unearned run if the pitcher makes the error? Well, the reason that you create an earned run average stat is you're trying to determine the effectiveness of a pitcher as a pitcher.
Yeah, when he makes that throw and throws it away, he's not a pitcher at that point in time. He's actually a defensive player and a position player, a fielder.
Ground ball could be 2. 1, 2. Valdez to Armenta to Sotelo. Second double play for the Guasave, Mexico defense. No runs, 1 hit, no one left on base. Mexico leads 3-1 over Korea.
One decision, endless possibilities. California University of Pennsylvania opens your mind to more than 100 programs of study. Programs that matter to business, to justice, to our environment, to the future of our world. California University of Pennsylvania, because the world is waiting for you.
Visit or apply online at calu.edu.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again.
How about next weekend?
Yes.
Horse around at the Washington County Agricultural Fair, August 12th through the 19th at the Washington County Fairgrounds.
Peoples is dedicated to developing innovative energy solutions with local companies and communities. The result? A positive environmental impact while supporting new technologies in the region. Whether it's collaborating with Chatham, Duquesne, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, or Giant Eagle's commercial fleet, natural gas-powered campuses and companies are protecting the environment by doing more with less. Protecting the environment through innovation for future generations. One more way Peoples is making your life better.
They play in all corners of the world. Boys and girls each learning the true value that only teamwork, competition, and sportsmanship can provide. Each year, more than 500,000 participants of all ages proudly represent Pony on baseball and softball diamonds of all sizes. Everyone deserves a chance to learn and play the game. They're our players today. They'll be our leaders in the future. Pony, making a difference in your neighborhood and all over our world.
Let's bring you up to date with what's happened so far at the 66th edition of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. Earlier today, a rally by Bay County, Michigan. They trailed 3-0 after the top half of the first, and they came back to win it 6-4. And then in our second game, Washington County, the host team, rolled over the Netherlands by a final score of 9-2. The team from the Netherlands had a 1-0 lead after the top of the first. It was their only lead. Washington County, PA, advances on.
All right, Tony, thanks very much. Tony Caridi, who's been a part of our coverage of the Pony League World Series for several years now. The voice of the West Virginia Mountaineers and dear friend. As Armenta leads off, it is his dad that is the head coach, the manager. First time up, Kevin grounded out. Gennaro Armenta, 12 years coaching pony baseball. He owns an auto parts store. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Armenta, good-looking athlete there in the leadoff spot. I like that he tried to bunt for a hit there with 1 strike. Try to get some type of offense going. It's been a defensive game so far.
And the throw to first base because the strikeout completed 2-3. Lee Young-un picks up his 4th strikeout. Tony mentioned that Washington won. There's that strikeout and a pitch down and away, and quickly Menta was getting out of the batter's box knowing that he was a strikeout victim and was hoping the only chance he could escape would be to throw to first base.
What a really good 2-strike pitch there from Jung. The breaking ball down and away in the dirt. Nice job by the catcher to block it up and finish the out at first base. But that's why it's so important to throw strikes early in the count, get ahead in the count so you can throw pitches out of the zone to try to get strikeouts.
Bunt attempt, strike 1. Tony was talking about the Washington win, impressive 9-2. Mikos Mantalis hit a home run in that game, a 3-run homer. That Washington, Pennsylvania team has 8 players from Canon McMillan. 5 are from Trinity High School. 1 goes to Lindsley and 1 to Washington. Here's that breaking ball away, and the strike to Valdez, who singled his first time up, was on base when Sanchez hit the home run.
Boy, the breaking ball has been very good this inning so far.
And the fastball sneaked by Valdez. It's kind of backward pitching. Set him up with that breaking ball and then fire the fastball by him.
Yep, you see that not all the time, but that's a great fastball with run back into the plate. Just a great sequence of pitches there by Lee Young-jun, who has looked extremely sharp here in this inning. The best we've seen him so far in this game.
Sotelo, his dad, one of the coaches, his dad is a vegetable farmer. I mentioned earlier that Vidal celebrated his birthday yesterday, and I asked him, what was your birthday gift? He got a brand new glove, a Clayton Kershaw glove. Falls behind, no balls, 2 strikes.
How about that? Back-to-back breaking balls again, doubling up on him to get in ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
See if he throws fastball here now, like as he did on the 0-2 pitch to Valdez.
Yep, off the plate, good 0-2 pitch. Now you have him looking away. You might try to bust that fastball in underneath the left-handed hitter's hands, or maybe go with the off-speed pitch away.
Complete the strikeout again, 2-3. As Lee strikes out the side. Mexico down in order in the bottom of the third, but leading 3-1 as we go to the fourth at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. And that keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
A college education. A new den edition. The trip of a lifetime. At WesBanco, your home becomes more than a home when you take advantage of our new low home equity flex line loan rate. WesBanco, by all accounts, better.
Welcome back, everyone. We continue on with this matchup here, day number 2 of the Pony League World Series. I'm pleased to be joined by Jeff Catula. He is the president of the Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency. This event continues to get bigger and better each year. We kind of check in with you. What's the hottest thing going on right now in Washington County, Jeff?
The hottest thing is pony baseball. I mean, it's been a great night, great day. We got Mexico playing South Korea. It doesn't get any better than this for Washington County.
You know, Jeff, you can sense, and we've been here now several years broadcasting this event, these crowds continue to grow. Earlier today, I mean, it was almost, to that point of getting full. It's getting hotter, isn't it?
It is. So, between our sponsorship with Dick's Sporting Goods, the efforts that the Washington County Chamber of Commerce and Tourism has put in to really promote this event, plus the tremendous community support that we get, we just see more and more crowds each year. The interest is there. And more importantly, we're getting more and more domestic and international interest from this event as well.
Good checking in with you. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, as always.
All right, Jeff Catula with us. Let's go back upstairs. Ernie and Lanny.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. Our coverage, MLB.com, American Sports Network, 22 The Point. And our crew from Pikewood, Mike Parsons and Dan Lohman, producer Roger Lenhart, Scott Bartlett, our director. And lofted into left field on the first pitch of the inning. Seoul trailing 3-1. Kim Mun-young gets his second hit of the game.
Both of those hits on pitches away from him where he hit the other way. Just a nice approach at the plate for this young left-handed hitter from Korea.
Third time in 4 innings that Seoul Korea has gotten the leadoff batter on. Cho walked to lead off the second and scored the lone Korean run, and a throw to first base. 3-1 in favor of Guasave, Mexico. Joel Sanchez hit a 3-run homer in the first inning. And then Cho, who walked, advanced on an error and moved to third on a ground out and scored on a ground out.
Yeah, Korea has had some traffic on the bases here early in this game, but 2 double plays, inning-ending double plays, have haunted them. Pitcher's best friend, right? How many times have you heard that? The double play.
And the winner of this game will play Hagerstown, Maryland, at 5:30 on Monday. Foul ball out of play. And the loser of this game will play at 10 o'clock on Monday against either Levittown, Puerto Rico, or Youngstown, Ohio. 10 teams and a double elimination on the way to the Wednesday championship game.
You know, the diversity is what makes this so special. I mean, if you're a kid playing in this tournament, you have the opportunity to meet so many kids from other countries, other parts of America, and learn different cultures. And, you know, in my opinion, that's the coolest part of the whole experience. Of course, they all love to play baseball, and, you know, they're going to remember the games. But I think they're going to remember the experiences they had every bit as much as they remember the games as they move on and become adults.
And catcher Cervantes needs to check in with his pitcher with a man on and nobody out in a 1-1 count. We've talked already about the fact that very often managers in all of baseball dictate pitches and pitch outs and step offs and throws to first base from the dugout. Keep in mind that's a little bit more challenging for the catchers here at Lou Hayes Pony Field to be able to see. There's a pitch out there. It is right there, the pitch out, what we're talking about. For the catcher to be able to see the manager in the dugout because the dugouts are right behind home plate.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Usually it's just a little head nod if you're a catcher and you're looking down one of the baselines to get your sign. But here, might end up getting a stiff neck by the end of the week.
Got to peek around the umpire.
It's a full body turn to get around and get your sign.
Set up inside is Cervantes. Fly ball to center. Over the head of Parra. And Kim goes to third. He'll stop there. And Choi at second. Tying run at second base.
What good piece of hitting there by Yin. Ball deceived me a little bit off the bat. I didn't think it was hit as well as it actually was, but that is a frozen rope about 290 feet to dead center field. And nice job of base running there by Kim Min-yuk at first base. He expanded his lead, made sure the ball wasn't going to be caught before he took off. Still nobody out here in the inning. Korea with a golden opportunity to get themselves right back in this baseball game.
Why would Guasave play the infield in?
You must think that it's going to be a pitcher's duel, but I'm with you there. The tying runs at second base, and why you would want to open the infield up here with nobody out in the inning. I can see, you know, maybe bringing your corner guys in, but I think your middle infielders, I think you have to play back and try to get an out, right?
You set up the possibility of the slow roller gets through the infield, and the game is tied.
Yeah. Try to limit the damage. Still a lot of baseball to play in this game.
Second and third, no outs. Line shot to right field. 1 run scores. Kim comes home. Choi will stop at third. And it's a 3-2 ball game. 3 consecutive hits for Seoul, Korea here in the 4th inning.
And they've made an adjustment. They've made Sanchez throw the ball in the middle of the plate. They haven't chased balls out of the zone. And again, another opposite field base hit there. And that's just a sign of maturity.
I was trying to figure out whether if the second baseman had been back, probably didn't have a chance on that ball.
Hey, you don't know. Maybe if he's playing in that hole. But how about the fact that Cho Kyu-taek is the cleanup hitter? He comes up with nobody out and 2 guys in scoring position, and the first pitch he sees, he lines into right field, the opposite field, for an RBI base hit. Now, that's what I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching kids that maybe are figuring this game out a little bit, because a lot of cleanup hitters, Laney, what do you think they're thinking in that situation? Pull side home run. I want a pull side home run, and you can have the tendency to pull off balls and ground out weakly, or maybe pop out or swing and miss. But just a very mature at bat there by the cleanup hitter, and Korea really has something cooking here in the top of the 4th.
And Jeff Grable, the home plate umpire, going out. Jeff umpiring his 8th Pony League World Series. Jeff Grable is from the Ohio area now. Works for the Columbus City School District as a fleet manager. Goes out to try to move things along as Guasave, Mexico finds itself in a big bit of trouble here. And the left-handed batter, Kim Yul, steps in 0 for 1. Left-handed batter. Shortstop Amenta, second baseman Valdez, a double play depth.
You know, and right here's where both managers come into play. What do you do in this first and third situation? I'm sure that's what the mound visit was about. And, you know, that's a big difference between youth baseball and professional baseball is anytime there's a first and third, it's a major part of the game. You know, as a defense, how are you going to defend it? Offensively, do you try to steal the bag here with nobody out? Do you send the guy from third if the defense throws through?
So tie the game. Out at second or at first base. No, Choi scores. Cho goes to second. 3-3 in the 4th inning.
And another aggressive at-bat. We've seen both teams be very aggressive on first pitches in this game.
I was surprised that Valdez didn't try to get the out at second base.
I was too. I think there was time, but I also don't mind the decision to go ahead and get an out. Get that first out of the inning and take a little bit of pressure off.
the advantage had he gone to second base was that he would have eliminated the possibility of the go-ahead run being in scoring position. Plus, he would have still kept the double play in order.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100%, but maybe he just, he got caught in between a little bit, made a very nice play on an in-between hop, and maybe he just wasn't sure of himself that he could pivot his feet and make that good feed to second base to get the lead runner. Definitely wasn't a double play ball. They weren't going to be able to complete the double play at first base, but you're right. Anytime you can get the lead runner, it's obviously an advantage for the defense, but I'm sure Mexico right now would tell you they're happy with just getting an out here, getting the first out of the inning.
Catcher Cervantes. Ooh, turned out to be a little bit more exciting than the Mexican team wanted it to be. 2 down now in the 4th inning.
And I say this to my players all the time, Lanny. If it was easy to catch pop-ups and ground balls with a catcher's mitt, then the shortstop would wear one. Okay? So it's not an easy play. He probably could have got his body turned a little bit more, got his back to home to the pitcher's mound to deal with the spin, but it's not easy to catch short hops and pick balls out of the dirt and catch pop-ups with a catcher's mitt.
Strike called. Now Hyun-jun batter now.
Now the coach side of me would also say, don't make excuses, right? Catch the ball. But it is a difficult play.
Remember the old days when catchers used to handle pop-ups, basket style?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
3-3 game in the 4th inning. Right side. Sotelo lead at first base. The play at the plate, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Breaking for second base is by, and he's there safely. Should have been an inning-ending play, but instead, Korea takes a 4-3 lead.
I'll tell you, that's just a great baseball play by Korea. The pitcher, Sanchez, late to the bag at first base. Okay, he doesn't get there in time. The runner hustling all the way up the line, and then an unnecessary throw by Sanchez when there was no play at the plate. That run's going to score regardless. Great aggressive base running there by Korea, but it also allows a Korean hitter to get into scoring position at second base. And you made the point, putting runners in scoring position right. They've already done it one time this inning. That run has scored, now the go-ahead run, and they've also put possibly another potential run in a scoring position.
All right, it's a single, no RBI. Second error charged to Guasave, Mexico in the game. RBI? Why? Oh, okay. Bob Gregg says RBI. Says that the runner never stopped.
He definitely never stopped. Just good aggressive base running with 2 outs there. What you try to teach your guys. And
that's a balk. Threw to a base that wasn't occupied.
Balk!
He threw away from a base. That's a balk.
You're right. You can just see Mexico just having a very tough inning here, just mentally. We talked about the mental part of playing the game, and right now very tough on Sanchez. You have a play at first base where the pitcher's late to the bag, makes an unnecessary throw, moving runners up, and now that's a pickoff probably called out of the Mexico dugout, and somewhere along the way somebody didn't get the sign because the two middle infielders didn't know the play was going on.
Hey Bob, who's the error on?
The player needs to be on the base.
Allowing the runner go to second.
Yes. Okay.
The pitcher?
Okay, here we go, man.
Okay, second error, E1. Second error, by the way, on pitcher Sanchez. Boy, it started with a single, double, RBI single by Cho, RBI ground out by Kim, and then the RBI single by Hyun-jun, and a 4-3 lead for Seoul, Korea. Foul ball. Count 1-1 on Kim Sun-min. And keep in mind that Korea won 3 straight Pony League World Series championships, 1988, 1989, 1990. And in all 3 of those years, defeated California teams. Most championships won, most Pony League World Series championships won by the state of California, 21. 1-1 pitch. Way outside, corralled by Cervantes.
You know for sure anytime that you get a team from that part of the world, the Asia Pacific region that comes here to Washington to the Pony League World Series, they come here with the expectation of winning this thing because they've won it so much in the past. So you're going to see a good baseball team. You're going to see a team that is disciplined and well coached, and a team that really believes and has a mission to come here and win the whole thing.
Bat goes flying, and it's a foul ball on the count 2-2. 3 runs for Seoul, Korea in this inning on 4 hits.
And Sanchez, the left-hander, really trying to work inside here to get some men. He's got inside on him a couple times and knocked the bat out of his hands on that one.
Good thing our roving cameraman Danny Corso wasn't. Well, he was over on that side. Danny was over on that side, but not down the line, fortunately, far enough to be impacted by it. Fly ball left center field. This drives in another run. Ball rolling to the wall. Kim Soon-min with a 2-out RBI double, and Seoul, Korea leads 5-3.
And that's what very good baseball teams do. They will take advantage of every mistake you make, and if you make mistakes, they're going to find a way to score runs and extend leads, and that's exactly what Korea has done here in this inning. They've swung the bat well, they've been aggressive, they've moved runners up, but they've also taken advantage of every single mistake Mexico has made.
Ball fouled off to the left by Lee Young-un, the South Korean, or the Seoul, South Korea pitcher. 0 for 1 in the ball game. So he came down off the mound in the bottom of the 3rd, trailing by 2, and he'll go to the mound in the bottom of the 4th inning with at least a 2-run lead. Wild pitch. Boy, this is a vile inning from the standpoint of Guasave, Mexico.
Yeah, and Sanchez has struggled here in this inning, and I think he's struggled with his command the entire game. The left-hander has really good stuff. We've seen him throw some very good fastballs with good movement. We've seen a very good breaking ball from him, but I think he's still trying to adjust, maybe to the mound, maybe to the environment, and again, playing in this tournament. We talked about it in the lead to the broadcast that this can be an intimidating thing, and trying to get yourself comfortable. Just doesn't look like he's ever been able to get comfortable out there on the mound so far tonight.
Count 2-1. Lee, the left-handed batter, runner at 3rd base, 2 outs. 9 straight years teams from the Asia Pacific zone have competed in the championship game in the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series, brought to you by the Observer Reporter. And for those of you that get the Observer Reporter, as I do, former Observer Reporter publisher John Northrup was inducted onto the Pony League Wall of Fame last night. Abe Key made the presentation of the plaque to Mr. Northrup. 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
There's that breaking ball I was talking about. It's a pitch that he hasn't had great command of today, but when he has thrown it, it has been very effective. I mean, that's a 2-1 hack there on a pitch that Jun was completely fooled on. Looking for a fastball in a 2-1 count. He got the breaking ball and pulled off of it and swung through it.
First baseman Sotelo unassisted play. 8 Seoul, Korea batters come to the plate. 4 runs scored at the end of 3.5 innings. It is Seoul, Korea 5 and Guasave, Mexico 3.
Toyota, find out just how easy buying a new car can be. Their low pricing, huge selection, and knowledgeable sales team guarantees that I'll not only find a vehicle that I love, but one that fits my budget. If you're in the market for a new Toyota, there's only one place to go, the all-new South Hills Toyota. This month, lease the 2017 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $199 a month. South Hills Toyota. This changes everything.
One decision, endless possibilities. California University of Pennsylvania opens your mind to more than 100 programs of study, programs that matter to business, to justice, to our environment, to the future of our world. California University of Pennsylvania, because the world is waiting for you.
Visit or apply online at calu.edu.
Welcome back, everyone. Seoul, Korea has taken the 5-3 lead. We head into the bottom half of the fourth inning of play. One of the great events of this tournament each year took place earlier today. It's the Champions League game, and it allows all of the teams that are participating in this year's event to also take part in a Champions League game. Absolutely fantastic memories, and it's just one of the greatest events that you will see no matter what the sport. Now back upstairs, Ernie and Lanny, take it away, guys.
Tony, got a question for you.
Fire away, sir.
What is the greatest broadcast school in America, Syracuse or Waynesburg University?
Oh, I thought you were going to say your alma mater, Ithaca. Well, you know I'm partial to the Newhouse School, but I will tell you this. What you guys are doing at Waynesburg is absolutely unbelievable. You guys should be commended.
Thank you very much. Quite a few of our students, those that have graduated, those that are still part of our program, part of our Pikewood crew, 0-2 on Cervantes. Pedro down on strikes. 5 strikeouts in a row for Lee Young-un. This right-hander for Seoul, Korea, had some trouble in the first inning, gave up a 3-run homer, but now he has retired 8 in a row.
Yeah, look out. This right-hander's really hit his groove here. He's mixing in the breaking ball and the fastball for strikes. Retired 8 in a row, and he's really taken control of this game, and his offense has given him a lead.
Oh, well, Sanchez hit the 3-run homer in the first inning, went the opposite way. 4 home runs so far for Guasave, Mexico in this tournament. 3 hits in the 4-1 win over Levittown, Puerto Rico yesterday.
I tell you what, Lee Jung-young, his breaking ball for the last 2.5, 3 innings has just been devastating. He's been able to throw it to get ahead in counts early in the count. He's also been able to work it on the edge of the plate or off the plate to get strikeouts.
Two balls, 1 strike. Triple header tomorrow at noon, Washington, Pennsylvania against Covina, California. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's that breaking ball again in a fastball count, 2-1 count. He's able to drop that breaking ball in there, off-speed pitch in a good location, away from the left-handed hitting Sanchez, who I think likes that pitch away a little bit. He hit
what do you think here?
3-run homer.
He...
I think you try to throw a fastball underneath his hands. You have him looking away. He was looking away soft, and you try to maybe come in hard. Try to sneak a fastball underneath his hands.
Second base, Kim's got it. 2 outs. 9 in a row retired by Lee Young-un. It is 5-3 in favor of Seoul, Korea.
By the way, the fastball in would have been the wrong pitch because the one he threw worked. The soft breaking ball.
Good point,
middle
Ernie.
away.
Good point.
Got him out in front for the weak ground out to second. It's now 9 in a row set down by the right-hander.
Pedro Felix, whose cousin, Alan Sanchez, plays pro baseball, had played pro baseball in Mexico. Speaking of relatives, how's your nephew Jimmy Galuski doing?
He's doing great. Just finished his summer. He played for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Just finished his season up in Wichita, Kansas in the WBC World Series.
And ball drops in left center field. And a 2-out single for Pedro Felix. First hit for Guasave, Mexico since the Sanchez home run in the first inning.
And Any base runner at this point for Mexico, obviously very important because it brings the tying run to the plate. We're right in the middle of this baseball game, and we'll take advantage of any scoring opportunity you have.
Jesus Parra, 0 for 1 in the game, hit a home run yesterday. (5-3). Seoul, Korea leads. Out at first base. I think the runner may have gone back and grabbed the foot of the first baseman.
Either that or he did not know maybe the pickoff was coming. He had dropped his eyes, but looks like he might have, yeah, he slid right into the foot of the first baseman. How about that?
No runs, one hit, no one left on base after 4. 5-3, Seoul, Korea.
The key to winning is getting the most out of every player.
We need to perform at the highest level.
Anything less won't cut it.
We demand the best.
You also need the best medical care and sports training programs
to help prevent injuries
and to provide world-class treatment if someone gets hurt. We won't settle for second best.
That's why the Pitt Panthers choose UPMC Sports Medicine.
Athletes at every level choose UPMC Sports Medicine.
That one a little flare, and it's just enough. And Max Morris is the hero.
And a line drive, base hit into center field. Adam Frazier gives the Pirates a walk-off win. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Welcome back, everyone. Lou Hayes, Pony Field. This matchup between Mexico and Korea continues on with the Korean squad on top 5-3. Welcome back in. I'm Tony Caridi along with Mike Mooney, president of West Banco here in Western Pennsylvania. And this is West Banco night here at the ballpark. Why does this kind of an event attract West Banco? What do you like about this?
Well, it's just a matter of bringing the community together. You know, as a bank or a banker, I feel like part of my responsibility is to support what goes on in the community. And when you talk baseball and young kids and in the community, and heck, the whole world's here, I guess. When you have people from around the world here, it's just a great investment for us. It's just to invest in children and communities, what we're all about.
And it is amazing, isn't it, Michael, the fact that this is the 66th year of event. There's not a lot of things that last 66 years.
And that's actually older than me. I didn't think there was much older than me anymore.
It's kind of like compounding interest. It just kind of gets better as time goes on.
Now you're talking my language there. Yeah.
Along with Mike Mooney, I'm Tony Caridi. Let's go back upstairs to Lanny and Ernie.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for the fifth inning, top of the Seoul, Korea fifth, and the top of the batting order. Jung Kwai Chun 0 for 2. Joel Sanchez through 4 innings has given up 5 runs on 7 hits. And has only 1 strikeout. That was the strikeout of Jung in the first inning. 2 hopper, backhanded by Armenta. Strong, accurate throw, 1 away.
And another 1-pitch quick out in this baseball game. We've seen a lot of first pitch ground outs, but a very nice play by the shortstop there. Armenta, not the biggest guy on the field, but goes back, sets his feet, makes the nice backhanded play, and is able to collect himself, get on top of the throw, and fire a strike across the infield for the first out of the inning.
And now Kim Min-hook, who is 2 for 2 in the game. Left-handed batter, first ball hitting. Lopez, 2 down. Well, I've always said that whether a particular play is scored as a hit or an error, the key is that there are always those plays during the course of a game that could have been or should have been made. And in this game, it is that ball bounced to the right side by Ma Yun-hoon in the 4th inning that led to the 4th run. Subsequent throwing error led to the 5th run.
Absolutely. That was a ground ball that should have gotten Mexico out of the inning, but instead it extended the inning, and Korea took full advantage of the mistake.
Choi 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the 4th inning. Covina against Washington on tomorrow at noon, and Lee's getting in some extra throwing. In on the hands and getting that bat around, turning on it well, and Choi hits a home run to make it 6-3. And take a look at the replay and see how well this young man was able to get the hands out in front of a pitch that was jamming him.
Wow, unbelievable swing to be able to get the barrel of the bat on a pitch that was far inside, to be able to pull his hands inside, stay inside the ball. That is it's a major league swing there from the 3-hitter. Not an easy thing to do right there, Lanny. You got to be a special hitter to be able to pull your hands inside of a pitch like that and get the barrel on it, and to keep the ball fair and not pull it foul.
Cho walked and scored in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 4th. 6-3, Seoul Korea leads.
You can see that the elbow guards have made their way all the way down into the youth baseball ranks as well. Still weird for me to see that. That's not part of the old baseball game, is it? The full body armor.
It is not. 1 ball, 1 strike. Washington and Covina, California tomorrow at noon. Levittown, Puerto Rico, and Youngstown at 2:30, an elimination game. Netherlands and Brownsville, Texas at 5 o'clock, elimination game. Hope you'll make plans to join us here at Lou Hayes Pony Field. This is just day 2 of 6 bullpen action for Guasave, Mexico. Saeed Koda starting to warm up. 2 balls, 1 strike. By the way, I think if you're thinking about coming to the Lou Hayes Pony Field, my suggestion to you is that you get on Interstate 79 if you're coming from the north. Come down through the junction, 79, get off Laboratory exit, number 33, exit 33. Laboratory exit, go west 2.5 miles. Line shot to left field. Out number 3. Korea gets a home run, a solo shot from Choi. And at the end of 4.5 innings of play, Seoul, Korea 6, Guasave, Mexico 3 at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again.
How about next weekend?
Yes. Horse Around at the West Alexander Fair, September 4th through 9th at the fairgrounds in West Alexander.
This right-hander from Seoul, Korea gave up 3 runs in the first inning. But boy, has he been throwing strikes, good sharp breaking balls, and some good fastballs. Just 1 base runner over the last 3 innings. And his team has gotten him back even, fell behind 3-0. And then Seoul, Korea scored a run in the second, 4 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth.
Only the 1 base runner since the first inning home run, and he went ahead and picked him off first base. So 10 in a row, even though it's not 10 batters in a row retired. He has got 10 consecutive Mexico players out.
Called strike. Our coverage on the American Sports Network, MLB.com, and the Point 22. All of the games are being streamed by Pikewood. And the audio for the games that are not on the point are being broadcast and streamed, and the audio coming from WJPA Radio, and the voice of WJPA Radio and the Pony League World Series is Mark Uriah. This is Mark's 34th year calling Pony League baseball games. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jesus Parra. And Mark and I will be teamed together for the 3 games. It's tomorrow. We'll start with the noon game. Swing and a miss.
Tell you what, I'm not sure what you do with this right-hander right now. He's throwing first pitch breaking balls for strikes on the edges of the plate. He's not even leaving them in the middle, and he's setting up a fastball. He's painting corners. He's got good movement. He has just been in complete control of this baseball game, minus the 1 big swing in the first inning by Sanchez for the 3-run homer.
5th inning, 6-3 Seoul leads.
Another breaking ball for a strike in an 0-0 count.
That's referred to, baseball people refer to that as pitching backwards. Normally you try to establish, get ahead in the count with a fastball, and then when the hitter's at a disadvantage, come with a breaking ball.
Pitching backwards, I like to refer to it as pitching effectively, because it's working.
I like that better.
Yeah, if you can get ahead in every count, you're going to be pretty successful on the mound, especially if you can do it with your off-speed pitches.
Base hit by Lopez, 1 out single. And just the second Guasave, Mexico hit since the start of the 2nd inning.
The second baseman, Kim Sung-win, really playing in that 4 hole close to first base. That's typically where the second baseman would be set up in normal position, but maybe these guys have scouting reports. Maybe they have spray charts, and probably more than anything, just trying to position yourself as an infielder based on where the location of the pitch is being called.
De Anda 0 for 1 in the game. One ball, 1 strike.
Another breaking ball to get strike 1 in a count.
Swing 1 and 2.
That looked like a harder breaking ball there, almost like a slider to get the check swing from De Anda.
Strike 3. 2 outs. 9 strikeouts for Lee.
You know, that's one of those pitches probably off the plate, but the pitch before that, De Anda had offered at, and again there, a check swing there, and I think an umpire, especially at the youth level, they're going to call strikes, Laney. I mean, they're going to call strikes. They're told to call strikes, and it helps the game move along, and I think it's the right thing. Sometimes the zone gets expanded, but it's happening in every part of youth baseball.
1 strike on Armenta.
I tell my guys all the time, and it's a brilliant piece of baseball advice that I came up with on my own. That's if you don't want to strike out, just don't hit in a 2-strike count. Don't take strikes and don't foul pitches off, and you won't get to a 2-strike count.
The Bible according to Galuski, huh?
Yeah. Makes sense, though, right?
Yeah, book going to be out in time for Christmas.
No, not by Christmas.
Well, you've come up with at least 3 gems today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you don't want to strike out, don't bat ever with 2 strikes on you.
Don't get yourself into a 2-strike count. First pitch you see in the zone, hit it hard somewhere.
Ooh, Look, second baseman Kim was on his way to the dugout.
I tell you what, we haven't talked about it. We got to give this catcher, Kim Young-Yul, a lot of credit. He's done a great job back there. He's blocked some balls in the dirt. He's really framed some pitches up, maybe made some balls look like strikes, and they've gotten the calls.
Explain for some of our viewers that don't know that term, framing.
Framing is it's like anything else. You're trying to make something look like something it's not. Right? When you frame somebody, maybe you frame somebody for a crime. You're trying to make somebody look like they did something they didn't do. But as a catcher, you're trying to make balls look like strikes. You're trying to present a pitch to the umpire that looks like a strike.
Throw to first base just in case. And for the second time in this game, Lee strikes out 3 batters in an inning. And at the end of 5, it's Seoul, Korea 6 and Guasave, Mexico 3.
At the Southwestern Pennsylvania Eye Center, we enhance life by restoring vision.
We offer the newest advancements, including dropless cataract surgery.
We provide excellent service and community-focused care.
Because our passion is eye care.
A college education. A new den edition. The trip of a lifetime. At WesBanco, your home becomes more than a home when you take advantage of our new low home equity flex line loan rate. WesBanco, by all accounts, better.
It's go time at Dunkin' with 2 egg and cheese wake-up wraps for $2. Enjoy 2 freshly made oven-toasted wraps and keep on running all day long. America runs on Dunkin'. Dunkin's full-bodied cold brew coffee takes 12 hours to steep and almost no time to sip. Experience the craft in Dunkin's ultra-smooth cold brew coffee. America runs on Dunkin'.
At the Southwestern Pennsylvania Eye Center, our priority is patient care.
We have the latest laser technology, including dropless cataract surgery.
We enhance the quality of life by restoring vision, because our passion is eye care.
The Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series is presented in part by Community Bank, by Marthinson and Salvetti Insurance Group, and by Washington Auto Mall.
Great place to catch the action at Lou Hayes Pony Field, the hillside out behind the right field fence. As we get ready for the 6th inning, a change for Guasave, Mexico. New right fielder Miaza Esparza takes over in right field, and replacing Deanda. And Joel Sanchez finds himself down 6-3, ready to work the 6th inning of what is scheduled to be a 7-inning ball game. And looped into left center field. Kim drops this one into the gap, into the warning track, and a leadoff double.
Well, another great piece of hitting there. We've seen it all day long. Driving balls into the opposite field, and another leadoff base runner for Korea. Gotta love those guys that can drive the ball the other way with authority for extra base hits.
And manager Gennaro Armenta goes out to the mound after the leadoff double delivered by Kim, with shortstop Lee coming up next. And here comes the new pitcher. Saeed Kota will be coming on with nobody out and one man on in the top of the 6th inning. The winner of this ball game will take on Hagerstown on Monday at 5:30. The loser of this game will be playing Monday at 10 a.m. and will play either Levittown, Puerto Rico, or Youngstown, Ohio. Levittown and Youngstown play tomorrow at 2:30. Quite a trip for the folks from Seoul, Korea. Mentioned earlier that the translator told me that they traveled from Seoul to Atlanta to Pittsburgh. That's what I was told. As I said earlier to Ernie, I would think that you'd go from Seoul to maybe someplace on the West Coast.
You think LA, right?
Yeah.
Connect in
San
LA.
Francisco. But that's what we heard.
But if I had my choice, I like those direct flights a lot better than the connecting flights, don't you? You've been on quite a few flights in your life, but there's a lot of yours were charter flights with no connection.
Double check these changes. I think Sanchez has moved to first base.
Pitcher to first. Pitcher to first.
It is a 6-3 Seoul, Korea lead.
First base to center.
And it's 5+ innings for Sanchez, charged with 6 runs, but still responsible for the runner at second base.
Guasave, entering the game in the 7th spot in the batting order to pitch, number 8, Saeed Kota.
Kota's batting 7th. And Sanchez does move to first base. And Sotelo moves to center field. So Parr is out of the game. As we said, Kota is at in the 7th spot. There's the former pitcher Sanchez at first base. And Lee, 0 for 2, ball 1.
Kota with a live arm here. Good fastball with his first pitch. Left it up and out of the zone, but good life on the fastball.
And Korea leads 6-3. And lifted on the infield. Armenta takes care of the first out of the inning. 3-0 was the lead for Guasave, Mexico in the after 1 inning, with Joel Sanchez hitting a 3-run homer to stake himself to the lead. But the chipping away and benefiting from the great pitching of Lee after Lee struggled in the first inning. He really did settle down well, and his teammates got him back into it with a run in the second, 4 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. Left-handed batter Ben Hun-Yun, who was 1 for 2 with an RBI. And a strike. Perplexed.
But with a smile on his face, which is always the best way to be
Second strike, he stepped out of the batter's box.
It is a rule here. You're not allowed to leave the batter's box, and the umpire has the right to call a strike on you as the hitter.
Perplexed and penalized. There you go, strike 3 right on that outside corner, 2 outs.
Now that was an interesting at-bat.
And he doesn't now really, boy, is confused.
And he doesn't understand. He's only seen 2 pitches. Doesn't understand that the umpire called a strike on him for leaving the box, and it's like, now we're going to have a discussion.
And we need a translator.
Yeah, which I think is
the first pitch
might be my
strike.
favorite part of the whole Pony League World Series. Is
that was strike 2,
and then
that
translator.
was strike 3. He stepped out of the box. That's a strike. Let's go.
Jeff Rabel explains things and says, let's go. This is Jeff's 8th Pony League World Series. Great veteran crew working this game. And now with 2 outs, here's Kim Soon-min.
You know, and all he's doing there is enforcing a rule that he's been told to enforce. You know, it's something that people are trying to do all throughout baseball to speed up the game and not allow hitters to leave the batter's box once the at-bat starts.
Keep the batters in the box, keep pitchers on the mound.
It's not like it's only at this level. You see it at the major league level too. You know. And I watched it the other night, just last night actually, watched the mound visit clock. Have you seen that?
I have not.
There's a timer. Well, if a pitching coach is going to make a visit to the mound, he's got 30 seconds, and there's actually a clock.
I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an effort going on all throughout baseball to speed the game up.
Ball pops away, and runner moves to third. 2 outs in the 6th inning. The Seoul Korea leads 6-3. Kim 2 for 2 with an RBI. Koda's pitch up high. And the win for Guasave, Mexico yesterday. Impressive performance by Sotelo. Got the win, celebrated his birthday, hit a home run. Ball lifted back and out of play.
And you look at it a couple different ways. Is it, was it an advantage coming into this game for Mexico that they had already played a game on this field, or is it an advantage for Korea because they're able to throw their #1 pitcher against potentially Mexico's #2 pitcher?
Well, Sotelo yesterday pitching the complete game. He struck out 12 Puerto Rican batters. Runner at third, 2 outs, 2-2 pitch.
Ball.
And an appeal. No swing.
Well, you talk about a tough draw right out of the box, though, huh? You have to play Puerto Rico, then you got to turn around and play Korea. Very tough draw.
And Guasave may play Puerto Rico again on Monday should Puerto Rican Levittown from Puerto Rico win over Youngstown. Ball bobbled and a run scores. What appeared to be routine was not. E4, and it's 7-3 Seoul, Korea.
And it looks like Valdez just got his feet caught up, maybe in some loose dirt, and maybe got his feet caught up with each other trying to break down and make the play. Just a tough break there for the second baseman.
And now pitcher Lee. It is the 3rd error committed by Guasave, Mexico in this game. Base hit, opposite field hitting. 2 on, 2 outs, and a run in. Ball game in the top of the 6th.
And I've talked about it numerous times already in this game. I like to watch these young hitters use the whole field to let the ball travel and drive the ball with authority the other way. And here we go again with 2 outs. Korea has got something going after a Mexico mistake.
Need for the translator. With the Young coming up.
That's the pitcher.
Yeah, he's the pitcher, and
right.
he will change the runner.
If he puts a runner in for him, he can't pitch anymore.
그다음엔 피처할 수 없대요. 네, 할 수 없대요.
If he comes,
바꾸면은
if he substitutes for him, he cannot pitch anymore.
투수할 수 없대요.
So that he's done pitching, no more pitching. Okay.
That ended that conversation very quickly because the last thing you want to do is take him out of the game right now as the pitcher.
Just tell him to be careful running the bases.
Surprised they don't have a couple of those oven mitts on him like you see in the major leagues now all the time. Good for base stealing and cooking at home. It won't burn your hands.
Swing and a miss. 7 of the 9 Seoul Korean players have been on the hit parade today. That is 7 of the 9 at least have 1 hit. 1 strike, runners at first and second. And count 1-1. It was 3-0 for Guasave, Mexico after 1, but now in the 6th inning of what is supposed to be a 7-inning game, it is 7-3 Seoul, Korea. Second baseman Valdez out number 3, but Seoul, Korea picks up a run that is unearned on 2 hits. There was an error in the inning and 2 left on base. After 5.5, Seoul 7, Guasave 3 at the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series.
Welcome back, everyone. 66th edition of the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series continues. We welcome you back. I'm Tony Caridi. I'm delighted to be joined right now by Chelsea Halker of Dunkin' Donuts. She's one of the marketing folks here. People are energized. People are riding along here. Why Dunkin' Donuts? What does this do for Dunkin' Donuts to make sense to come into an event like this?
Sure. It's been great for the community and the town of Washington and the community to come out and watch all these games. And it's been a beautiful weekend weather-wise for some baseball. So it's great for the town of Washington and for everyone to come out and support. So we're thrilled to be here.
You know, you got a tent set up over there, and it looks as though it's been busy all afternoon long. So it doesn't matter day or night. People are energizing.
Yes, Pony League runs on Dunkin'. We've been iced coffee and donuts all day, so it's been great to really interact with the folks here today.
Thanks, Chelsea. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We're thrilled to be here. Thank you.
All right, and back upstairs to a couple of guys who also are running on Dunkin' all night long. Ernie and Lanny, take it away.
Yeah, but Tony, would you ask Chelsea if she has any free coupons
Yes.
she could bring up to the press box?
She's got a 13-pound glazed donut she's going to bring up to you guys in just a little bit, so hang tight for that.
Boy, how about a cup of coffee, too? I
We'll get
love
that
Dunkin'
done.
Donuts coffee.
Absolutely, you got it.
Here's Valdez to lead off the 6th inning. Having a lot of fun in Washington, Pennsylvania. Near the bag. Corner to corner, close play, but boy, Cho did a great job of setting himself up, coming around so that he was positioned properly to get off a strong throw.
Yeah, another first pitch ground out, but a very, very nice play. The third baseman, Hugh Take, makes a nice play, gets around and sets his feet, and he's got to throw the ball with authority across the infield, and he did, and right on the money. The first out of the inning.
Pitch down, low, ball 1. We were talking earlier about having young people on the road. You were saying that probably at this age, 12, 13, 14, you tell them it's curfew time, go to bed, everything okay, right?
Yeah.
Have any things happen in Cooperstown? We're a little bit out of the ordinary?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
No, you actually, we all stayed in the same cabin. I had all of my players, and we were on campus there, and it went great. You know, anytime that, where I would always get nervous when I was staying with players is when they were actually legal to drive. So when you get into that 16, 17, 18, or the college guys, and they may be able to drive, they may be smart enough to get a taxi, they may have scoped out the area. You never know what they've done. But with the younger guys, you don't quite worry about that as much.
I was talking to the team from Covina, California today, and evidently one guy microwaved the cell phone of one of his roommates.
Oh boy, as a prank or accidentally?
I couldn't get a sense as to, I think it was a prank or just good good-natured fun. Second out of the inning, 11th strikeout for Lee.
Boy, look at that breaking ball just drop off the table on the outer part of the plate. Lee Young-jun has been in complete control of this game since the home run in the first inning. Working to both sides of the plate, fastball, breaking ball, mixing speeds. He's just put on a pitching clinic here this evening.
Foul ball. Hey, another thing I learned today. There's a gentleman, a young man on the Covina baseball team. His name is Chase Quito.
Okay.
Okay. And I asked him, I typically ask players, do you have any famous relatives? I like that question. Chase tells me that his great-great-grandfather created the fortune cookie.
That's a pretty good invention.
Is that a great story, huh?
I had a couple fortune cookies on Thursday evening.
Did you?
Absolutely, yes. With my wife and children, we got a little takeout and had a couple fortune cookies.
And a 1-2-3 inning recorded by Lee, and he has been masterful since struggling in the first inning. 7-3, Seoul Korea leads.
Mom, I'm bored.
Boy, what are we going to do this weekend?
When the family's fun meter runs down, recharge in Washington County. We've got something for everyone. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, fun. Visit WashingtonCountyPA.com to get started and share the energy.
What a great day that was.
Let's do it again. How about next weekend?
Yes! Cheers to the Pennsylvania Bavarian Oktoberfest on the streets of downtown Canonsburg, September 15th through 17th.
Well, now the crowd anticipating a big moment from a big man. He really does seem to thrive in these situations. He's such a cool customer. Looking to make a splash right here and right now. Swinging and a high drive, hit deep, clear the deck, cannonball coming. Oh, baby. Boy, is that sweet.
You can describe this one, we can return it. On the seventh inning for Seoul.
The Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, by the Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency, and by the Observer Publishing Company.
Inning number 7, Seoul Korea leading 7-3, due in large part to the outstanding pitching of Lee Young-un. And here in the 7th inning, Kim Min-yuk leads off. He's 2 for 3, left-handed batter against Kota. Kota came on in the 6th inning as Joel Sanchez, the starter for Guasave, Mexico, went 5+ innings, gave up 9 runs, or gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. Struck out only 1.
And again, he just didn't have great command of his pitches tonight. He had really good stuff. He just struggled to command it in the strike zone, and then some defensive mistakes behind him led to some big innings for Korea.
Fly ball, right field, right center, carrying well, and it's gone. Kim's 3rd hit of the game. A solo home run in the 7th inning, and it's 8-3 Seoul Korea.
Well, and Kim just got an elevated pitch there and elevated it out of the ballpark. You don't have to do much with it. When a pitcher leaves the ball up in the zone like that for you, you just have to make solid contact, and it has a chance to fly out of the ballpark. Pretty swing by the left-hander.
Well, most of this day we've seen Seoul hitters go the opposite way. The exceptions, the Choi drive down the left field line. That one exception, but here's another, and this other exception, this left-handed batter Kim hitting it to the gap in right center.
Yeah, then you got to face this guy who homered in his last at-bat on a pitch that we're still talking about here in the booth. How did he get his hands inside the ball and keep that ball fair?
Really quite masterful. And drives a breaking ball. That's what you're talking about, is how you deal that pitch inside and be able to keep it fair.
Exactly. You have to keep your hands inside the ball. Your hands got to be ahead of the barrel, and you know, at contact, the barrel's obviously got to be facing a direction that is in fair territory, and you see what happens when you get out in front and around the ball. We get some very brave fans going into the woods trying to find that foul ball.
Considering the fact that there were white stakes there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Choi. Doubled in the 4th, homered in the 5th. And one more shot for Guasave, Mexico, with hitters 5, 6, and 7 coming up at the bottom of the 7th inning. Bay County, Michigan beat Brownsville, Texas today 6-4. And Washington, Pennsylvania with an impressive 9-2 win over the Netherlands.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Washington today. They played the game well. They got some really good players in that lineup, and it just makes this event even that much more exciting when the host team, the local team, is having success.
Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. The host area team from Youngstown lost to Hagerstown yesterday and will play Levittown, Puerto Rico at 2:30 tomorrow. Two pitch. Out number 1. That is after the throw to first base. 1 down to the 7th inning. Seoul, Korea 8. Guasave, Mexico 3.
We've really seen a couple of catchers here today that have caught very good games. Think about how many balls they've blocked in the dirt, and they've thrown runners out on strikeouts at first base, and just calling the game and framing pitches and trying to steal those strikes from the umpire. Been impressed with the guys on both sides.
Cho Koo-taek is 1 for 2 with an RBI. And Koda's pitch, strike call to the outside corner.
You know, we talked about it in his last at-bat, all the body armor. Got a little bit on his elbow, some on his legs. What do you think those old school pitchers, the Bob Gibsons and Sandy Koufaxes of the world, would have thought of that?
1 strike pitch. Well, back to your point earlier, do you think Bob Gibson be on the base paths with oven gloves on?
No, and he probably would be sliding as hard as anybody trying to break up a double play. And it's one of the guys that I wish I could have watched pitch in person. I'm sure you did.
1-1 pitch. 2-1. I did not in person see Bob. For Saeed Koda, this young man wants to be a physical education teacher. Batting with 1 out in the 7th inning. Koda on the mound with a 2-1 pitch. High and inside. And look at Cho trying to keep his foot in the batter's box.
Hey,
he had to duck out of the way of a pitch and had to keep his foot in the batter's box.
You gotta love his ability to learn and dip. You gotta love that. He's trying to play by the rules, and hey, you have to do what you have to do sometimes to make sure that you get to stay in the batter's box.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Now, you were talking about him wanting to be a physical education teacher. If you look down this list, he's the only player on the team, right, that wants to be a physical education teacher. Everybody else wants to be a professional baseball player.
It's all right. Have dreams. Center field to Sotelo, and 2 outs. Once again, on the do-or-die bottom of the 7th inning, it's going to be hitters 5, 6, and 7, Sanchez, Felix, and then Cota.
You know, you talk about having dreams, and you're exactly right. I can't imagine there's been many players that have advanced all the way to the major leagues that they didn't have the dream of playing in the major leagues. Now, there's been a lot of people have that dream that obviously don't make it to that level, but I don't think there's any chance at all without at least having that dream.
John Switek brought you your Dunkin' Donuts. Called strike. Don't forget tomorrow, triple header. Washington, Pennsylvania against Covina, California at noon tomorrow.
Lanny, I think we've hit the jackpot, buddy. We've got a fresh box of Dunkin' Donut
Beautiful.
bites.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Charging, gloving, throwing, and getting. Seoul, Korea picks up an additional run. 1 run on 1 hit, the home run by Kim. The drive to right center field. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th, do or die for Guasave, Mexico. 8-3, Seoul, Korea leads.
Since 1901, Community Bank has helped make home sweet home a little sweeter. Stop in or visit us online to see how we can get those dream projects started with a home improvement loan that's right for you. Because building better communities is our business. That's Community Bank. Looking for a new home or to refinance an existing one? The mortgage team at Community Bank will show you how to make your dream home a dream come true. Plus, our rates are pretty dreamy too. All because building better communities is our business. That's Community Bank.
Our player of the game, Lee Young-un, who gave up 3 runs in the 1st inning and then said no more. Throughout the day, posting 11 strikeouts, consistently jumping out in front of hitters, sometimes with the breaking ball and then finishing them off with a fastball.
Yeah, he's put on a clinic here today on the mound. You know, he made the 1 pitch, and it was an 0-0 pitch that wasn't a bad pitch that got hit out of the ballpark in the 1st inning. An opposite field 3-run homer, but he has pitched to both sides of the plate with multiple pitches. He's controlled the strike zone. No walks in this game to this point, Lanny. And when you don't walk anybody and you throw strikes, you have a pretty good chance of winning baseball games. And he has given his team an outstanding chance to finish this one off here in the bottom of the 7th.
Our player of the game has retired 15 of the last 17 batters. Here's Sanchez driving the first pitch of the 7th and back quickly. Boy, did Jung get a good jump on that ball, 1 away.
Yeah, that's one of those line drives off the bat as a center fielder where you don't know if you need to charge, you don't know if you got to go back, you don't know if it's got top spin, back spin, if it's going to tail into that gap. And just a very difficult play, but a play that was very well made in center field.
Pinch hitter for Guasave, Pavel Navarro is the pinch hitter. And Navarro drives it to right field, and it is a home run. Comes off the bench, pinch hit solo home run on the bottom of the 7th, and now Guasave, Mexico trails 8-4.
I think Navarro went in there with a plan. I think he's been watching this game from the dugout saying, hey, if he throws me a first pitch curveball and it's right in the middle of the plate, I'm going to swing at it and not take it. And he got a pitch. Really nice piece of hitting there A breaking ball in the outer half of the plate. He drives it the other way. Pretty special moment for that young man, I'm sure. And he knew it. Did a little bit of a bat flip, threw his hands up, and that's what you want to see. You want these kids to come out here and play with confidence and have fun and enjoy playing the game.
And Manager Park is going to the Hill. Have a conference with Lee tomorrow. Noon, Covina against Washington. 2:30, Levittown, Puerto Rico against Youngstown. 5 o'clock, Netherlands against Brownsville, Texas. Hope you'll join us. Spend a good bit of your Sunday afternoon with us. Lee Young-un found himself with our player of the game, the home run by Choi Woo-in. Had 2 hits in the game, the double in the 4th inning and the home run in the 5th.
Boy, I could watch that swing all day long. It's something you can, you know, if there's any young baseball players out there watching the game, you want to watch that swing just to have the ability to be able to pull your hands inside the ball and keep a pitch like that fair.
Choi, player of the game, lead pitcher of the game. Strike 1 on Kota. This is Kota's first at bat. Used to be a Pirate catcher by the name of Kota. Humberto Kota, good guy. Didn't spend a lot of time in the big leagues. No balls, 2 strikes.
Jen only at 77 pitches here in the 7th inning, so he's been very efficient on the mound out there today. 1 out here in the 7th, got 2 more to go, and hasn't quite hit the 80 pitch mark yet this evening.
And the count 0-2, 2 outs away from the end of the ball game. Our Pikewood crew happy to bring it your way, covering this action of the Pony League World Series with Mike Parsons, Dan Lohman, Roger Leonard, our producer, Scott Bartlett, our director, and the entire crew. It's been here all day covering in this triple header, and we'll be here. Most of the crew will be back for the triple header tomorrow, and then 4 games on Monday, 4 games on Tuesday, and 1 or 3 or 2 games on Wednesday. All fouled back.
And how about the play by the catcher Yule there 2 pitches ago? The breaking ball in the dirt, he blocked it. It wasn't swung at, but if it would have been check swung or swung at, he would have had to throw the ball to first. But again, I've just been impressed with the way both of these catchers have handled the game here tonight.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Kota is the 2nd out of the 7th inning. "12 strikeouts for Lee."
And another breaking ball to get that strikeout.
Lee has had at least 1 strikeout in each of the 7 innings. Recorded 3 strikeouts in the 3rd and 3 strikeouts in the 5th. And Lopez steps in. Guasave, Mexico defeated Levittown, Puerto Rico 4-1 yesterday, but is trailing 8-4 with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
Fastball for strike 1, painted on the outside corner, and then the breaker that starts in the middle of the plate and works its way off the plate. 1 strike to go.
Catcher sets up outside. Ball fouled to the trees off to the right. At Lou Hayes Pony Field, ready to bring the curtain down on day 2. And that curtain will go back up early tomorrow with a noon game. 0-2 pitch. Third base, Cho. Ball game's over. Seoul, Korea, first game of the tournament, goes on to face Hagerstown on Monday at 5:30. 8 runs on 11 hits for Seoul, Korea. 4 runs on 6 hits for Guasave, Mexico. A complete game victory for Lee Young-un. 12 strikeouts. Yes, he gave up 4 runs, 3 in the 1st and 1 in the 7th, but he was masterful in between the 3-run 1st and the 1-run 7th.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a blueprint for how to win a baseball game, I mean, Korea did that here tonight. They swung the bat well, but defensively and on the mound, Lanny, 0 errors, 0 walks. For a youth baseball team, that's a pretty good job, and you have a really good chance of winning every game you ever play when your pitchers walk 0 in 7 innings, and defensively behind you, your defense makes every routine play.
Seoul, Korea would like to extend the streak, would like to become the 10th straight team from the Asia-Pacific zone to make it to the championship game, which is scheduled for Wednesday night. Yes, this is day 2. And then, of course, with the action of 3 tomorrow, 4 on Monday, 4 on Tuesday, the possibility of some, if necessary, games on Wednesday, but then the championship game, which we'll have for you on The Point 22 and also on the American Sports Network and MLB.com. So Seoul, Korea, after spotting Guasave, Mexico, a 3-0 lead, picks up a run in the second, 4 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh, and wins 8-4 to march on to take on Hagerstown Monday at 5:30. And the losing club, Guasave, Mexico, will be playing on Monday at 10 a.m. in what will be an elimination game. Thanks for joining us. Final score, Seoul, Korea 8 and Guasave, Mexico 4.